And he sent me a message, so this is what you've decided to do. Then I told him, but that is what you did, you scammed me. So when he started asking me for money, so this escalated. Then I realized he's really broke. I realized he was living a fake life. Came across a file. So on this file, I saw things that shocked me. I was shook. These things shocked my life. So he told me now I had to act like his wife. Now this is the juiciest part. I had to act like his wife so that he wouldn't be thrown out of that house. His house. I just hope that this video records to the very end, because I know number one, my space is I'm like low on space, but besides that, I'm also low on battery, so I'll probably be constantly checking just because I want to keep you hooked. Anyway, hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time stopping by, hello, my name is Stacy. If you are a returning subscriber, oh my god, thank you so much for always being here. So today I'm going to do something a bit different. I want to do my facial as I'm just doing a bit of storytelling. So this is a storytelling video. Story time rather, yeah. So this story time is dated back in 2019 thereabout. Yes, that has to have been 4 years ago. I've just felt like talking about it now. Anyway, so this story is about how my love life has been rather, but like not really everything. This particular one, I actually have two very interesting stories of my love life. Actually three. Yeah, but like the first two, I think I'll just give a story time of each at a specific time. But let me start with this one because this gave me a very, like, this changed my way and shaped how I look at men when it comes to finances and things like that. But like it also taught me a lot. Ile kujituma nilijituma. Oh my god. Anyway, let's just get started. So I'm gonna wet my face first because I want to do what? Guys, I'm in the kitchen. You'll have to forgive me today. So I'm going in with this rich skin cleanser. This is the first step. So usually, sometimes I double cleanse, but sometimes I just cleanse once. So like today, I feel like double cleansing. So that's how I'm gonna go in with this, and then I'll also go in with my CeraVe cleanser. So I'm gonna cleanse with this first, and then with the CeraVe. Anyway, so I met this guy on Facebook. I think I'll probably insert the first message this guy ever sent me on my Facebook Messenger. Anyone who knows me knows that I don't check my Facebook messages, number one. I rarely even respond. There are like a ton of Facebook messages, and reason being, I just feel like everyone is always telling me the same thing. It's either hi, and then I'm like, how many highs am I gonna ever get to respond? Like, there are a lot, I swear. I think I'll probably just show something here, I don't know, but yeah. So this guy sent me a message on Facebook, and I was like, hi, my name is so and so, I work with so and so, I live alone in my apartment, I pay my own bills, I'm a graduate of this and this, I'm currently doing my master's at UN, I think I still remember bits of that message. But yeah, like he came out like someone who's very someone who's very knowful of what they're doing and what they're saying. So he was just telling me everything about him, and I was like, ooh, where are these guys found? You know, like, I've always not been responding to messages because most of them are like hi. But then there's this guy who just comes and gives a proper introduction of who he is, what he does, where he stays, who he stays with. He also said he doesn't have any baby mama. He's single and not have any kids and things like that. So I was like, okay. And his profile picture looked equally good, and then he was a Lugo man. Oh my god. Anyway, so long story short, we started chatting. At some point we got to exchange contacts, and then started chatting. At that time I was almost graduating, so things escalated very fast, and here I was having his house keys, so we were like somehow dating. So I wasn't really like dating, but I mean, he gave me access to so many things in his house. He gave me access to going to his house anytime I felt like. He gave me a spare key. At that time I was staying in Ruaka, so he told me I could always go to his place anytime I feel like. So I was like, okay. Yes, I had to stop because I had to go and wash off the first cleanser. So I'm not going in with my CeraVe cleanser. I love this cleanser. It lays my face so smooth. Anyway, so here I am having his house keys, having access to his place. So we started going out often. he introduced me to his brother, who was also still staying on the same route as where he was staying, like somehow the same road. So I'd gone with him to his brother's place, visited the brother a couple of times. The brother was married with a kid. So like this guy had shown it all. Like he really literally welcomed me into his life. So fast forward, we are comfortable, we are getting to know each other, we are spending a lot of time together. I'm always in his house. So, and then it was also easier getting to work from his place because sometimes he'd drop me. Hello. Anyway, so here I am, some of my clothes are in his house. You're getting to know each other. I'm always there doing some wifey duties, cooking and cleaning, or rather just doing random duties in the house that you do. And now there's a day this guy, now things just started not adding up. He started being a bit distant. We're together, but he seems like he's so far. He seemed like he was always stressed, like he had things going on but he didn't want to say. So I also just kept quiet. Like I asked him a few times and he didn't want to tell me anything. So in my head I was like, okay, if you don't want to talk about it, then probably you'll talk about it when you feel like. So I just used to ignore him feeling like that. Not like really ignoring, but I've tried talking him out and he didn't want to talk. I remember even calling my brother at a particular time and asking my brother, because even our romance life had just gone to the drain. So I was asking my brother if it's very normal if a guy is stressed, because I didn't have anyone to talk to. I'd never experienced this. I didn't know. So I was asking my bro, my second bro. I'm sure he'll remember if he sees this video. I know he used to tell me he's stressed, he doesn't have money, but like he was living a high life. So I didn't understand if he was living off loans or he was just trying to impress me or things like that. So within time, I just started getting to get a few hints here and there of things that probably could be happening. So I remember there's a time he left me in the house alone and I was just cleaning, randomly cleaning in the house, doing thorough cleaning. So I was there arranging the clothes, folding the clothes, arranging his books and papers. So I came across a file. So on this file, I saw things that shocked me. I was shook. These things shocked my life because clearly this guy had not gone to any university. He was not pursuing any masters. I also saw a file that had a report of where he had tried purchasing, I think, land or like a house with another woman. Though this story he had told me partly, like he had mentioned something like having been with someone else who traveled abroad, who went to America and things like that. So I think it was this same woman who they bought a house together with. I don't know if it was a house or a land, I can't remember. So I just started seeing so many lies in his stories and I started joining the dots. So I think at some point when his lies caught up with him, he had to tell me the truth, because I asked him, I just straightforward went and asked him, hi, so and so, why is it that you told me you've done your masters, you told me that you do not have any baby mama? Oh, and another thing, I realized this guy started a habit of asking me for money every time. Very small amount of money for a start, and then it now moved to like a huge amount. So he'd start with, oh, send me 200 there, and then he'd say it in a very funny and loving way. I just find myself sending my pocket money at that time. So he'd ask me for money. He'd ask for 500 shillings, 1,000 shillings, 2,000 shillings. I was stupidly in love at that time. I think I was so obsessed with him. So I just randomly sent him cash. Yeah, I just sent him money. Anytime he asked me for money, even if it was the last drop of money I had, trust you guys, I would send it. Looking back, I do not regret, because that was just a stage in life. And probably if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't know what I know now when it comes to finances. I wouldn't know how to probably handle my money better. And anything I usually do when I'm in love with someone, I usually say like, I feel proud of it. I don't regret. I don't feel sad that I did it to people who probably didn't appreciate or things like that. I usually just say tenda mema nenda zako. So when he started asking me for money, so this escalated, then I realized he's really broke. I realized he was living a fake life. I also realized that I was not the only person who was asking for money. He was asking very many other women for money. And he'd use the same phrase. And every woman he was asking for money apparently was his baby. So he'd just be like, hey babe, blah, blah, blah. I need 500 shillings. I need 1,000 shillings. So it was a habit. So there's a time I confronted him, asked him why he was doing that and why he had like so many people he was asking for money. And in his defense, he was like, no, these women, they're the ones who want me. Anyway, he was a hot man. So he kept saying these women are the ones who want him. He doesn't want any of those women. Silly, stupid me believed, partly because I still had doubts with him anyway. I'd already like seen all the lies he told me. I'd already come across that file which told me so many things about him. So I just started wondering. So when I confronted him, he told me that it's actually true that the house he's living in is not even his house. Initially, he told me it's his apartment that he had bought. So now the lies are catching up with him and he has to tell me the truth. He's very much in arrears, very much behind in arrears. His house is constantly getting locked and he has to always come up with stories to lie to me as to why I can't go to his place. He has to always lie that he's at his brother's. So sometimes I had to even go meet him at his bro's just because he knows his house already been locked. So there's a time when I confronted him, he had to now start telling me the truth that this house actually is not even his house, it's rented, and that he's in the, what is it called? He's in real estate. Yes, he was in real estate. I think he's still in real estate right now, but that time I think business was just not doing well. And he was in real estate and also probably just scamming women left, right, and center. So he told me that the business was not doing well and that he had been in arrears for so long. And I think real estate money is money that probably usually just comes once and then sometimes you don't have money. If you have a very good deal, you have good money. If things are rough, you probably run broke. So I think that is what happened with him. And the times that he had money, he'd probably overspend it. He'd just be a spendthrift. So he opened up, told me the truth. I was like, okay. Then he told me now about the house. Mentioned that the house was actually, I need to wash this off so that I can go in with my scrub. I need to scrub my face. So he told me the house was rented and that he was behind with, I think, 4 or 5 months rent. At that time, the rent was, I can't even remember the figures, but I think it was 20 something. It was a 2-bedroom house. So he told me now I had to act like his wife. Now this is the juiciest part. I had to act like his wife so that he wouldn't be thrown out of that house. His house number 1 had already been locked a couple of times. That time I even went and found it locked. So he had to, I think he was also getting like ashamed and like just very, he just felt like it was not appropriate me seeing all these things. Yeah. So he told me he was going to give me the caretaker's number. At that time, I had some extra money coming in. So I told him, he asked me for, I think it was 15,000 or 20,000. He wanted me to like help him pay rent for like 1 month so that at least the house owner and the caretaker would see that he's probably making an effort to pay his rent. Good thing. I helped him out. I gave him the money and he also gave me the caretaker's number to send the message once I've paid using the pay bullet. I think it was a pay bill, whatever. And then also gave me the landlord's number. So he told me to communicate with the landlord and the caretaker and tell them that I'll be the one who will be handling the payments, just because he seemed so untrustworthy. You get, like, the caretaker and the house owner had already lost so much hope in him, had already lost trust in him. So he felt like if you brought a newer person in the picture who would now be the one to deal with the caretaker and the landlord, then probably they'd believe her more. So that new person was me. So I was the one conversing with the caretaker every time. Anytime they wanted to look the house, I was just like, no, please give us time. So then I'd consult with him. He'd tell me there's a check he's waiting for. He'd tell me that blah blah blah. The check he was given. After a while, I'd ask him what happened to the check. The check bounced. Like, it was just so many stories. So I continued giving him money, helping him here and there, and then I think now he probably started getting back to his feet. Pole tu kidogo, also asking other women for money while at it. Things started getting a bit better for him, and I remember us just having an honest conversation and me just getting up from nowhere and telling him that I feel like this is not working for me and I want to leave because I felt like I was doing so much. I was putting in so much effort for very little. Like, I was receiving very little from his end, the bare minimum actually. So I told him I wanted to leave the relationship, and to me it didn't make sense whatever we were sharing because he was not open to me. I didn't think like I trusted him, and also he just didn't seem like he was really in love with me. He probably just seemed like he was with me to just help him at that particular moment when he was going through a rough patch. Help him with finances here and there, help him with house chores here and there and things like that. But like, he wasn't really in love. I don't think he was ever in love. I know he might have liked me, but love, I think I went away ahead of time. Yeah, I think I went way ahead of time when it came to love. I think I was the one who's so much invested in that. I think I'd just call it a situationship than he was. So we had to end things, sadly or happily. I think we ended things twice or thrice, because we'd end things and then he had a very sweet mouth. I'd get back to him, and then again I'd realize he's not so invested, probably was just needing company, and then again I would do the same thing. So I think by the time I realized that this was just the kind of person he was and we weren't heading anywhere, in my head I thought we were heading somewhere, because I was just done with campus. He was a bit older than me. I think he was 6-7 years older than me. Yes. So in my head I was thinking that this is a stable man, a man who knows what he wants, a man who's decided on what he wants in life and probably wants to settle. Oh my god, I was wrong. Anyway, so we had to part ways, we broke up. But looking back, I don't regret anything I did for him, because I was in love, and I think I would do that for any person I love. Now probably I would do it a bit differently, not just dishing money the way I used to, because that honestly taught me a lot. But hey, at some point he came and blocked me, or I think I was trying to do a story time on TikTok about the same things. I started, and then there was this soundtrack that was hitting at that time, Mumu Mumu, where the Mumu. So it was like me saying how Mumu I was when, like, how insane I was when I was dating that person. So I just wrote something like, if I remember, I even paid his rent, blah 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 blah. And then that video blew, like, but I didn't mention the name or anything, just like I've done on this video. And also I didn't give like a full story time on that TikTok video. It was just like, I think 30 seconds, and then now with the writings. So that story blew, and I think he saw it at that time, and then he sent me a message, so this is what you've decided to do. Then I told him, but that is what you did. You scammed me. You, not like really scamming me, but you you're using me at that time, and you really knew very well that you were not invested in that relationship, so why did you have to lie? And then he had to tell me that was me then, that is not the person I am right now, blah blah blah. I just told him it's okay if it's not the person you are. Kudos, it's good that you changed, and I hope you change for the better. But like, you did that to me, and that doesn't change anything, you know, and you're never even remorseful or sorry about it. I was just like someone you wanna walk over, you know. And then he felt angry and then blocked me. So yeah, anyway, that was the story time. That was the number one story time. I haven't given it in details, like everything, because I didn't want it to be very long. But like, one thing I learned in that story time, in that situation, the shape that I was in, is I want to always take my time. I know sometimes you meet people and you're just really in love with them, your head's over heels for them, you just feel crazily and insanely in love with them. And that was one mistake I did, because I think it was love at first sight when I met him. And I remember he came and picked me from our graduation dinner. That was our first date. We just spoke on phone for some time after we'd exchanged the contacts. But like, the first time we ever met was during our graduation dinner night. So he came and picked me from the graduation dinner. Yeah. So I learned just to always take my time. Sometimes something may be too good to be true. So it's always just good to take your time, even if it's something you really want. And if you really don't want to look like you're taking your time when you're actually taking your time, just try and see how you can curb your feelings. I know it's hard, especially for us women, but once some men realize this, they just take advantage, and it's very sad, honestly. Anyway, number two, finances. Oh my god, I can still spend on a man. I haven't disputed that fact. I can still spend on a man, but like, I have to assess the situation. I have to see if it's really worth spending. If it's things like birthdays, gifts, things like that, I would gladly do it. But like, paying rent, and I don't know, like, unless we're just probably married and we're sharing finances, and now you're on the low and I have to come and chip in and things like that, because the economy is too tough. And besides, even if the economy is not too tough, that's like it's just something I wouldn't do anyway. So anyway, I think I'm gonna end this story time here. I'm not going to say a lot of irrelevant things if I continue, but I hope you enjoy the story time. And if you've probably gone through the same experience, maybe we might have been in the situationship with the same person, maybe this story brings a bell. So yeah, if you might have probably been in the same situation, just comment on the comment section down below. Let us know what you learned. I hope you have a fruitful and blessed week ahead. Bye. Until the next one, it's your girl Stacy. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Bye.